Hi everyone, welcome back to Injection Insight with Aaron. I'm Aaron.
I'm Lisa.
And so today we're going to be talking about social media.
Social media, kind of the influences it has on people, how it affects you, expectations, things like that. So the main thing I want to start off by saying is just, our culture nowadays, everybody's on social media.
Everybody's
It's
media,
all consuming,
yeah.
which can be a good thing and a bad thing, obviously. But with looking at social media and talking with us, with the beauty industry, I think just the expectations people have. Do you see this in your day-to-day
I see
patients?
I see this in my everyday. There's at least one or two patients every single day that I deal with this, where they will show an image or a video of something that they're seeing online, or somebody that's advertising something basically, and I have to break it down to them, whether it's something that's gonna work, something that's not gonna work, or something that's just not even real.
So today we're going to talk about social media and how it affects people in a good way and bad ways, right? Especially in the medical field, comparing yourself and all of that. So let's try to start off with the positive. Some of the good things about social media and in this aesthetic field, what do you feel are some of the positives people can get?
I mean, I think there's a lot of positives to social media, especially in the aesthetic field, because you're able to see things that you didn't know before, right? So like, say for instance, you went and you got your lips done, right? And you go and you post a video about it, and now that person knows, like, oh, wait a minute, I can treat my tiny lips or the wrinkles around my mouth. So it gives people an idea, like, oh, I could treat this issue that's been bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's great to get the information out there.
And it expands too, like you get to learn about new procedures you never even knew existed.
Different trends,
right? Yeah.
different fads, and things that are just really beneficial to you, and like you could see somebody that looks similar to you and see how that changed their look in a positive way, and say, oh, you know what, I kind of look like that person,
Yeah.
and I have that same vibe. It's gonna.
I had that issue.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So what are some of the things you should maybe look out for? I know a big thing right now, I feel like, is all this sponsorship, right? So they're sponsoring different products or things
I would
that.
just say, keep an eye out for ads, in the sense that, like, the person might be trying to sell you without selling you. Like, you're unknowingly buying something, in a sense, like they're leading towards something very specific.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say more informative videos, more informative posts, versus something that's more sales based.
What other positives can you think of?
So other positives I would say is that you're updated on the latest trends, right? So if there's something new that somebody found out that's going to benefit your skin, or new trends for fixing under eye, you can now stay updated and be like, well, is that an option for me?
Yeah, and new products that are coming out too,
absolutely.
as well.
There's always new products and different ways of doing things. So a technique that was used back in 2002, right? They might be doing the same procedure, but they have a new technique of doing it. So now you can stay updated on the latest ways of doing it, the safer ways, the latest trends, and just best ways to do things. So.
Well, in this industry too, it's like constantly changing. I think that's why it goes back to like continuing education, like you're always taking classes, things like that, because it is always changing. They're changing the products, the way they do things. Are there any particular Instagram accounts or types of accounts that you like to follow yourself?
So personally, I like to follow accounts that are going to be educational based. So I follow a lot of dermatologists. I follow a lot of like med spas that do informative posts and just educational. So then that way, myself as well as other people can kind of get more information based versus just sales and just like just random.
They're credible.
Thank you. Yes,
credible,
credibility is a big one. That's what I was looking for.
Because I know some of these, and we've had patients come in and they say, like Threads, for instance, right?
Yes.
The procedure of Threads. They say, oh, I saw it on YouTube, or I saw it on this, account or whatever, and they're scared of it. They're scared because they feel like it's evasive, it's whatever.
Well, when somebody's doing threads on themselves in YouTube, that's a bit invasive. It's a little scary.
That's
that goes back to some crazy accounts out there.
Yeah.
Just making sure that you're getting the information. I do think that some procedures being filmed on social media it's a bit scary for people, and I totally can understand that. So just also seeing what's right for the person, because if the person's following an account that's educational versus one that's just showing gory images.
Shock value, because,
shock value,
okay,
yes.
so like even the vampire facial, that was a big, I mean, it is still a big thing, obviously, but when, you know, a certain Kardashian did it, and I feel like they tried to make it a little bit more gory.
It did
than-
look very
Yeah.
gory, to the point where people that come in, they're like, oh, I want this procedure, but they're scared of that after the fact. It doesn't necessarily happen like
Okay.
that, because that was for shock value, in my opinion, versus the actual result from the procedure.
Mhm. And I think too, with any treatment you get, whether it's skincare, lashes, any of the procedures that you do, anything that you're thinking of doing, I would just definitely suggest doing your research.
Yeah.
You know, read about it, see, and then that way when you come in and you talk to your provider, you can ask those
Yeah.
questions, any questions that bother you.
Also with the social media aspect, if you see a social media influencer, discussing or talking about a specific event that you think is very interesting, you wanna do a deep dive. That influencer, are they advertising multiple things? Are they actually, using what it is that they're talking about? Like, just do a deep dive into that person's, or into that influencer's, page, and see whether it
Yeah.
actually makes sense. And then depending on the influencer, you can even DM them and ask them, personal questions or questions as to why that affected them, and see if they have credible answers.
Their experience, like what they
Yes,
actually went through,
exactly.
yeah.
Or are they just using that as a excuse to send you to some med spa or to some, plastic surgeon to sell you something, right?
Using their code and this
using-
and that,
exactly.
yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, just making sure that you know that there's, you wanna find out the reason why the person is
Why they're doing
discussing.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
why are they doing it?
Is it
they true-
alternative
Yeah, do they
motives?
truly feel good about the product, or are they just selling?
Yeah.
So that's just, it's crucial, it goes back to due diligence, doing your research, and.
Definitely do your research, and there are good things, we're not trying to be all, negative to everybody that's out there with their experience, but there are some good, and if you share their experience and they post about it honestly, it could help you as well too,
Authentic posts
yeah.
are great. I
Yeah.
love seeing authentic posts,
Point of view.
educational posts. It's very, very informative, and I absolutely love it. I'm all for that, as long as it's credible.
Yeah, and so going, everybody's on social media so much, I think it's important to talk about like how it affects you just mentally as well, and just that comparing constantly, because we gotta keep in mind that these people, a lot of these people, they have access to whatever procedure they want, and then they use filters on top of that. So if you're bringing in a picture from somebody that, you like, or even I think too, a lot of these lips, like,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
I want these lips, can you do that, I want these exact, you have to keep in mind that your anatomy is not like that person, and it's probably photoshopped a little bit on top of that.
We've had a lot of clients that come in and they'll show an image from a specific influencer or picture of somebody, right? And I'm very transparent with my patients, very upfront, like, listen, your lips are not the same, they're not necessarily gonna give you those exact results. I will give you these amazing results,
Mhm.
I will give you this amazing look, but I cannot guarantee that you're gonna get that look specific, right? Also, at the same time, I will break down that photo with that patient and be like, well, these look amazing, but there's a filter on top. There are, there's makeup that is defining, their border, there's so many things that you have to break down with the client, because they're not necessarily looking at that, they're just saying, wow, I see these huge, beautiful lips, but let's do a deep dive, right? So, make no mistake, I'm very honest with the client, so like, I won't be able to do it, and neither will the other med spa down the road or that plastic surgeon, because there's a reason why that's not achievable.
Or they just keep searching, they get mad because you're being honest, and they keep searching and
They don't get the answer
they
they
go
want.
to a med spa
correct.
that will say, yes, I can do it, because they want the money or they want that service, and then they don't get that result that they want,
Yeah.
and then they're upset.
Yeah, or they see an image that looks beautiful on social media, right? But in reality, the lips are massive, and it becomes a safety issue, right? So I will absolutely 100% say no for a safety issue. And if it's gonna look insane, right? I will 100% always be there for my patient. I am a patient advocate before anything.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And a lot of your patients say that. They love when they come out, they're checking out or whatever, they love how you are so kind, you take your time, you explain everything, and not pressury at all. So that's a good, I don't know if that's a word, but you know, I just made it up. Yeah. But yeah, things like that. And I think that that's something important to consider when you're going into a new med spa or like looking to get treatments done. It's somebody that's gonna take the time, not rush you through, but explain everything. I see that you want this, I will try to achieve that, but we may not get this because X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
Realistic expectations, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you may come in for a treatment, but you're not gonna get those results right away. It might take time, a couple treatments, a couple, some months down the road or whatever it is, and we can achieve that, but it will take time. It will be a process, and as long as the patient understands that, it's important.
Treatment plans,
Treatment plans, absolutely. And coming up with a plan and having that it's not an upsell. It's us genuinely looking out for you, making sure that you get those results you want. I don't believe in spot treatments because down the road you're gonna end up where you were before. If you do it one time, you don't come back for 3 years, 7 years. It's okay to have a plan and reach those goals down the road. It's important. It's not an upsell. It's a true passion to help you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, and a lot of people too, they come in and they don't want their family, friends, whatever, to know they got something done.
Absolutely.
So a treatment plan is good too because you're slowly introducing these treatments.
Giving natural results.
Yeah, you don't want to just walk out with huge lips. You can kind of build over time, or whatever other fillers in other areas, things like that. So I think a treatment plan is the way to go for sure. And then you know that your injector is invested in you.
Yeah.
Right, so
Absolutely.
it's long term. They're creating that relationship and trust.
So on the topic of social media, I just want everybody to know that we have our social media. We have our Instagram at Derma Beauty Med Spa. We also have our Facebook page as well. In addition, we have our YouTube channel. Not to mention the podcast, obviously, but we are really here to inform you on any questions you may have, right? So reach out to us, DM us. You don't have to walk through our doors here in Calabasas. You can always reach out to us on social media, DM us. We will always do our best to reach out.
Answer any questions that you have.
Okay.
And we'll use this too. We're looking forward to questions so that we can answer them on the podcast as well. But yes, we will definitely get back to you right away.
Yeah. And even give you a virtual consultation.
Oh, yeah.
Anything, yeah, we're okay with
We
that.
have
as
done
well.
that too, by the way.
Yes,
So
yeah.
we do have a lot of patients that live an hour, 2 hours, whatever away.
And they don't want to drive all the way here.
You don't want to come just for a consultation and not know what you're going to do. So yes, we could do FaceTime consultations or answer on the phone. So that's great.
So obviously we're a business, right? So, we are here, but our main goal here is to help you, help inform the patient, help, guide you into your beauty goals. So that is our ultimate goal, not, ultimately just like the business. So we're here for you.
Building that connection. too.
Building the connection, building the relationships, helping you increase your self-esteem, boost your confidence.
So again, just reach out, right? Reach out
Reach
on
out.
any of our platforms, ask the questions, anything that you need. And that being said too, we have our code, if you're
Yes.
interested in coming to.
So if you do want to come in and even do a free consultation, the code would be Insight50, and that's going to be $50 off any procedure. And we don't do any cost for consultations. So we always do free consultations for our clients, just as a, hey, we're here for you.
Yeah, come fill us out.
Exactly.
And don't forget to like and follow us on all platforms. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.